Thank you so much for coming through. Now, it's obvious why you posted that video.
Yes.
You really needed some help. But did you expect South Africans to respond so quickly and so positively?
No, not at all. The response was overwhelming, and it was a miracle. I expected like maybe 10 people would see it, and before I knew it, there was 100,000 views, and then it went to 200,000 views, and then it went to over 500,000 views. So I didn't expect that at all. Yes.
So how did you feel once you realized that, listen, I'm going to be able to pay for my tuition, and then also find out that you've passed, and now you're a qualified doctor?
I am blessed to find that out, but I'm even more overwhelmed that now this has started. It started a movement where people like me all over South Africa can now see that there's hope. Doesn't matter if you've come from a disadvantaged background, because people that come from a disadvantaged background are further disadvantaged by not being able to enter university. They let alone complete their studies because they don't have the financial support. So on a grand scale, that's what I'm grateful for, that now we've broken walls for people that can now come after me and say, I can do it too. So that's how I feel about it.
Can you tell me how much you did raise eventually?
So we completed the debt, and then we have an excess. But I want to keep that for the end because I want to surprise South Africa with something.
Okay. Okay. You're not going to tell me what you're going to surprise South Africans with?
Should I do it now?
You can.
Okay. So we have an excess of... we have an excess.
Okay.
Let's keep it like that.
All right.
But the great part of that is through match funding and partnering with other institutions, I will now start a foundation that will help other students that have similar stories like mine. And yes, I'll post the details later on, but this is a South African foundation. And all the donations were from South Africans, so I want to let them know that this is because of them. They started this foundation. In the midst of a pandemic, they made a doctor happen,
Exactly.
and they started a whole foundation, so our kids and our sisters have a chance. So that's the surprise, that there's a foundation coming up.
Okay,
Yes.
All right. That's exactly what I was going to say, how South Africans were able to help you with almost 500,000 Rand debt during a pandemic. It shows that if we come together, we can actually help somebody. But it also speaks to, the fees must fall argument, right, with regards to people who come from a disadvantaged background, who just want to become doctors like you, but cannot afford fees at universities such as Wits. Once you're not able to pay, you're kicked out, or you're told, sorry.
100%, and it's a cry that so many South Africans have, but no one ever listens to their cry. Why? Because they don't have the financial support, they don't have the social platform that I had. But they still deserve an ending like I did. So what I'm going to do is I want to dedicate a good part of my life to fight this injustice. And I will speak out, I will make a lot of people angry, I know that. I know it. But if I don't start, if I don't start now, no one will. And I don't mind. I don't mind what will come. I don't mind the backlash that I'll get. But if this means that it needs to start with me so that everyone else can see it's possible, oh, trust me, it's going to happen.
Tell me a little bit more about Mumtaz. I know you were born in the burqa.
Yes.
And you had a child early in life. Tell me a bit more about yourself and what made you decide that, you know what, I want to be a medical doctor.
Okay. So I'm from Bukab, like you know. I come from a place where dreams rarely come true. Beautiful place, beautiful neighborhood, but we know that dreams fall at the wayside. We know that. Fell pregnant when I was 16. I fell pregnant when I was 16, and after that, I decided. I see everything around me. I acknowledge everything around me, but I won't be determined by that. I decided that I will make my dreams come true, not for myself, but something bigger than me, like my son and my family. And that's exactly what I set out to do. He was in the neonatal ICU for 3 months. I didn't miss a day of school. I'd walk from school to go visit him in the hospital, and I'd just see how doctors would maneuver around him, and they'd always update me. And I was 16 at the time, and they didn't treat me like a teenage mother. They treated me with so much respect. And I saw how they handled him, and I was like, I want to do that for someone one day. I want to be that type of person. And in that moment, I decided I'm going to take my school seriously. I'm going to become a doctor and make my son's life better. And why I'll become a doctor is so I can do this for someone else.
you also have some more good news that, you know, after South Africans were able to pay for your tuition, it means from the 1st of January you have a job.
Yes.
Tell me more about that.
So that's, I'm so over the moon. So Barra's always been, everyone knows me. Everyone that knows me knows that Barra's been like a place that I've been wanting to go for so long.
Barra Hospital.
Oh, yes.
Girl.
You see, everyone does that. You don't understand. There's so much camaraderie in that hospital, and it just speaks to my heart since 3rd year. And I was like, I want to get there. I want it. Everyone's like, no, but like, I get that it's nice, but you want the life too. I was like, no. I want to become the best doctor I possibly can, and that place will make it. They'll make me the best doctor I possibly can. So I'm super excited. I know it's the 1st of January, and I think it's on like a Friday at Barra. It's going to be crazy, but I'm so excited. I'm
Especially
really
because it would have been the festive season. There's COVID-19. There's accidents that might happen.
Yes.
And Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital has already been in the news a couple of times for being one of those hospitals that, you know, has scandals. So you're going to be very busy. And how do you feel about becoming a doctor officially during a time when we have this pandemic that is just giving us hardship across the globe?
I feel blessed. What better time? What better time for South Africa to stand behind a doctor, to create one and say, that's the people's doctor. We did that. And now when I start working and there's those 36-hour shifts and there's that one patient, I'm like, oh, I really don't want to do this. I can no longer do that. Because those are the people that donated 15 Rand, 20 Rand to put me through school. I can no longer do that. Now when I walk, I'm like, I'm doing it for you. And that's how I feel now, being a doctor during this pandemic.
Thank you very much for coming through. That is Dr. Mumtaz Emeran, who was able to get South Africans to pay for her fees at Wits University. And from the 1st of January, she starts to look after patients at Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital.